everybody. Welcome back to Day in the Life. Today, William and I are going to build a custom chainsaw, and we're pretty excited about it. William, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself?
Alright, so obviously my name is William, and I am a hands-on student with IMB, and I came here to help church plant. I am from Kirksville, Missouri, and I felt like God was leading me to a stronger, bigger mission in life. I had been doing small missions throughout the whole year last year, and I felt like God was telling me to go something more than just a weekend trip. So I decided to get on with IMB, and they accepted my application, and here I am.
And you got some experience working with chainsaws, don't you?
Yes, I've got probably about 8 years of experience working on chainsaws and small engines.
God sent us the right guy.
A friend of mine that owns a saw shop here brought me a brand new 365 special and a brand new piston and cylinder for a 372. He said, hey, can you swap out the cylinders and try and give this 365 more power? The guy who bought the saw, he wants to cut tablas, which is a lot of ripping. And just asked me if I could swap the parts and anything else I could do to give it a little bit more power. Let's take a look at the numbers, and then I'll show you the cylinders, and we'll go from there.
I'm just learning how to do this, so any of you guys out there, feel like shoot me an email and give me some pointers, that'd be great. Really 365 just for reference, for future sake for me. But what I want to focus on right now is kind of this right here in these target numbers. So the exhaust opened at 100 degrees, and I decided to raise the roof up 3 degrees to increase my blowdown. So I'm trying to increase horsepower. My intake opened at 105 degrees. I'm not going to touch that because I'm already at 149 for duration, and I don't want to go over 150. So really all I did was open up the transfers more to try and create more airflow, which I'll show you in a second. I raised the roof 3 degrees, which will increase my RPM slightly and increase my blowdown to 28. All right, so let's take a look at these two cylinders. They are both brand new. The one on the right here, this is the 365, the oily one. That's just because it came oiled from the factory. And this one right here is the 372. So biggest thing I want to look at is you can see the distance in the difference in piston diameter. But what I want to show you is the transfers. This idea to kind of try and create a little bit more airflow with a tapered transfer and open them up a little bit. You can see the size difference. They were almost exactly the same as the 365 when I started, and you can see that I've opened the transfers up quite a bit. On the inside of the piston, I don't really have tooling to adjust the transfer heights on the inside, and to be completely honest, it's just a little bit beyond my skill level at this point, and I'm just trying to give this guy a good work saw, so I didn't try and touch that at all. But I did open up these lowers, the transfer. The other thing I did is I take that material out of that edge, this material right here. Go ahead and take that out so that it begins to draw air into the transfers sooner. And I've seen that produces good results. But anyway, I did my best to polish this thing up so it's kind of shiny, and taking 3 degrees out of there is really like nothing. So those are the modifications we made to the cylinder. Here we are with this 372. It's more 372 now than 365. I want to talk a little bit about the porting, and then we'll try and start it. I haven't started it yet, so we're gonna bench warm it today and see if it pulls over. Again, because of the time crunch, I wanted to do an exhaust on this. So I just traded him the exhaust for the one that I had put on the 365 I did for my own saw. I took that exhaust off and put a fresh coat of paint on it so it looks shiny, and put it on this one for him. The porting went well. I was very conservative. It's not my saw, it's a client's saw. And it's the first one I've done, second one I've done for somebody other than myself. And so I just want to be real conservative with it. And again, I didn't touch the intake. I was shooting for 97 on the exhaust roof. Get my blow down up to 28. I think we realistically ended up right at about 98 degrees. So I only ended up taking out about 2 degrees, which is what the timing wheel showed. Once I put it all back together and siliconed the cylinder in place without a base gasket, it ended up right at 98, and I'm happy with that. I didn't go past my number, so that's good. I have confidence that she's going to run real hard with those open transfers, and slightly more blowdown, slightly more RPM. I'm excited to see how it runs. So, and then with the exhaust too, it should get rid of that spent gas a little bit faster. So let's fire it and see what it sounds like. Not bad. Here we go. I went ahead and ran this on the bench for a few minutes. I like just heat everything up and check and make sure nothing's loose before I throw a bar on it and really open it up. And I'm glad I did, because the spark plug wasn't tightened down. And the other thing I always check after I tune a saw, I take the nut off of the flywheel when I put my timing wheel on, and I've left that loose before too, and so make sure that's all snug. I checked all my bolts, checked my cylinder bolts after it's all heated up, and make sure everything's tight, and I'm ready to try and put it in the wood. So I went ahead and threw a 28-inch bar on this thing, and we'll just see how it sounds, and then we'll tune it. Man, sounds real good. It's definitely boggy. She's got a lot more to give us, I think. Let's try and tune it and see what it does. It's not quite as snappy as I'd prefer it, but I was very conservative. I didn't take anything off the intake. I think opening that intake a little bit and dropping that floor maybe a degree or so would make it what I was hoping for, snappy wise. But client saw, he needs it back. It's the way it is. It's going to work great. I'll just make a note in my little notebook and remember to do that next time. I backed off on the high end just for break-in purposes. Let's make some cuts with it where it is. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the RTMs a little bit, give it one more cut, and then I think she's ready to go home.
you know, our life bogs down just like chainsaws do whenever we got to tune them. And I feel like God is like a tuner for us because, you know, sometimes our carburetors get clogged up with trash and debris and whatever else that we're sucking into this world. And our filter just gets so clogged, and God comes in and he cleans the filter and he cleans the carburetor, and he also tunes the carburetor so it runs right on spec. I feel like God does that to us in our life,
Yeah,
you know,
I do too.
because we do have bad days where we don't run all that great, you know. I mean,
Amen, brother. Amen.
oh my, I can't tell you how many times I've been like that, and I just, you know, one day you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You're like, man, why? What happened? You know, what am I doing different? Everything's going wrong today. And then just that one prayer and staying in God's word, it keeps you upbeat. I feel like, I mean, it changes your life. Because I feel like pride gets in the way, you know. Me, personally, I'm very prideful in the things I work on and the things I build. But I feel like, you know, that's the wall that we build sometimes, is our pride gets in the way, and we got to tell God, hey, my pride won't get me down the road.
Well, I appreciate that word, brother. It's encouraging for me. That wraps up the custom build. How do you think it went, William?
I think it went really good. It sounds really good too.
Yeah, it could have cut a little better, but that's not the saw's fault. You know, I just threw my 28-inch bar with my chain on there. Believe it or not, that's a brand new chain. It's only made about 5 cuts, but that wood out there is so hard. But it's nice for testing a new saw, isn't it?
It's like cutting maple, right?
Yeah. No, I was really happy with how it cut. We got it all polished up, and we'll put it back in the box. I got the old cylinder here, brand new 365 cylinder. We'll send this with him in case he blows it up. He'll have a backup. But
Great.
what do you think about all this saw work, William, and out here in the village, and this whole idea of, you know, trying to teach Emilio to work on saws and everything we've been doing? What do you think about that?
Well, I have to say, you know, kind of brings back memories. Like, so whenever I worked for John Deere, somehow I got stuck working on chainsaws, and I did chainsaw work for a living for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of brings back memories of working on chainsaws, especially in high school whenever I did shop class. It was the best thing in the world when I could go to the small engine shop and just go play with chainsaws.
Man, it's pretty cool how God has equipped you to be here, and He's just using you right where you're at to serve Him. And I think that's a message that we can all learn from, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the coolest thing is like using my skills or your skills and working with chainsaws and able to, I don't know, bring them together and still glorify God in it.
Yep. I'm excited to see what He does, and sure appreciate your help. And it's been fun doing this build with you.
Oh yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Good. We'll see y'all next time.
Yep.